Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pulled from theaters. Kraven the Hunter. It's going to be released this weekend, but pulled from theaters already? Thank you guys for tuning in to this channel. Oh, I don't know what to say. Um I had high expectations for Kraven the Hunter. Like when they first announced that they were going to be making that into a film, I was like, I don't know, like if that would definitely work. But then I saw that they released the trailer, the first trailer, which was what, like 2 years ago at this point. I liked it. I loved it. I was like, I could see there being a story. And then it went silent for a while. I guess they were doing some reshoots or whatever because it got a lot of negative reviews and press. And then it came out with another trailer, and I was like, okay, I still like it. Like I still have high hopes for it. Um, and then they released the 8 minutes of the film, the intro online, and people were like, "This is not a good sign. This is a sign that this is going to be a bad film." Um, and the only reason I think you will pull a movie from theaters is that you just know you're going to lose money if you keep it in, and it's just better for you to go ahead and count your losses and then put that thing up online for streaming, video on demand or something like that. I don't know, but let's take a look at a few videos and kind of like give some commentary and some opinions to other people's reactions, those who went to see the movie last night. And then, of course, we're going to kick it off by watching what one is talking about the them pulling the film from theaters. Let's see.
This is it, everybody. Sony's big week is here. Kraven the Hunter is right around the corner. And Sony's probably going to be disappointed to learn that the film has been pulled from 1,000 theaters in its first week. Yes,
That's that's crazy. 1,000 theaters. It's been pulled already from 1,000 theaters.
the film is already suffering a major loss.
That's not good. Also, head over to the Comic Book
Ahead
Cast
of
and
its
subscribe.
worldwide release, we know that Kraven was supposed to open in pretty much every theater across the United States for a full wide opening. This means that the film was going to open in some 4,100 plus theaters.
That is a lot of theaters. 4,100 theaters across the United States. That's a lot. That's a lot. And not only that, but think of it this way. Let's dig a little deeper. You have several blocks that are on repeat for like a blockbuster weekend, like a Friday, Saturday type of a deal, possibly a Sunday. You may have like 3 rooms in which you're having this in rotation and it's going to show 3 times. So like each night you're going to have anywhere between 9 to 10 showings each night. So you're looking at the show being played about 30 times per theater. So you do the math. You could see right there when they're pulling it from thousands how much money is being lost.
Across the US, and obviously this includes outside the US, like, Hawaii, for example, would be considered, just to clarify. Also, Alaska as well. I know some people get confused when we talk about domestic US. It's always including these locations.
How is it not? I don't understand that. Like he shouldn't even have to explain that yes, Hawaii and Alaska is included within the United States. But I don't know. Maybe the education system has failed us that bad, and people are just like, does that include Hawaii and Alaska? Yes, it includes Hawaii and Alaska. They're part of the 50 states.
As well. Okay, now back to Kraven the Hunter. So 4,000 theaters seemed like a good idea. Well, apparently a good idea is a good idea for Sony to try to push a wide release, but the theaters aren't having it. So what's happened is due to Morbius getting the big screen treatment and, priority to all these big screens, and also Madam Web, and to an extent Venom 3, theaters do not want to give up big ticket items on their best screens, aka Moana and Wicked, which are still pulling in great numbers.
Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what. That makes a lot of sense because you can't push out films that are bringing in money. Like Wicked, I've seen Wicked. Wicked is an amazing film. If you haven't seen Wicked, go watch it. It is really, really, really good. Yes, it's a musical, and you may not like all the singing or whatnot, but trust me, the spectacle is there, and the story is there. The acting is on point. Listen, let me tell you, Ariana Grande, yo, her character was on point. Like the level of airheadedness was just palpable in a very tasteful way, though. Anyways, let's continue on.
So what's happened is that theaters have pulled back how many screens they're showing Kraven on, or smaller theaters that don't want to show it because the previous round of Sony films has not delivered the goods.
Oh my goodness, man. Yo, something is off. Something is off. Like how do you mess up that bad with the story? I don't get it. And they mess up over and over and over again. It's like that's part of their brand now. It's like don't trust them outside of Spider-Man. Like anything outside of Spider-Man, don't trust them with anything superhero related material because it's going to flop. It's going to fail. Like in theaters are now like, nah, we're good. I see what you're peddling. Nah, we're good.
And them committing to 6 to 8 weeks to keep a theater, playing the film is just not financially worth it when they know Moana or Wicked or something coming up in a couple weeks like Sonic is going to make way more.
More.
So effectively, right before its release date, Kraven has been pulled from 1,000+ theaters, opening somewhere in the range of 3,000 we're hearing, but we're not going to have an official count till literally the weekend, obviously, till.
So that's not. I mean, they've lost a quarter. They've lost a quarter of the theaters that they were going to be released in. But you know what though? I mean, when you do the numbers, it's like to have it in that amount of theaters. If you pull 1,000, if you pull a quarter away, you could possibly save some money as well. I know for sure, like the theaters are like, yeah, we want to make money, not like lose money. So I don't blame them. I mean, heck, I would do the same thing. Like if I saw this coming down the pipe and I was like, man, but these films that I got right here are doing well, and then the film that's coming out right after them is going to do even better, I'm going to pass on it. It's like, no, you don't deserve to be in the theater. Like, not in my theater, not messing up my money. No, you pass, hard pass.
We know what's happening. But this has got to be a blow to Sony. But at the same time, you can't fault theaters. If you yourself were a theater owner and you're looking at everything that's coming up and everything that's currently out, are you going to gamble on the film from the teams that brought you Morbius,
Nope.
Madam Web,
Nope.
and Venom,
Nope.
The Last Dance?
Nope.
Or are you betting on Disney and Sonic and even Wicked? You know, like, it's all there. So Kraven definitely has an even bigger uphill battle now that I'm not sure it can win in any regards. Well, everybody, thank you for watching that video, and as always, you can
All right,
like,
let's go ahead.
share,
Let's see
do
what other
whatever you
people are
will.
saying out
Check
there. Like,
out
I
the
want to
recommended
go
video that's
and
popped up somewhere on the
see
screen. And also, if you
people's
would like
actual
additional
out of the
content,
theater
including
reactions
more
with this.
discussions and more unfiltered content, check out what we offer.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's check this brother out real quick.
Kraven the Hunter, fresh out of theater reaction. And with low expectations, guys, it actually wasn't that bad.
Ooh.
There were some boring parts, but overall, I did enjoy myself.
Okay.
And that's mainly because of the titular character, Kraven, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I like the powers. I like the abilities. I like the characters. I somewhat cared about him. Now, everybody else in the film, not as much. I'm not going to say this is garbage or it's trash. It is better than Madam Web. It is better than Morbius. It is better than Venom 2 and Venom 3. Still not saying that it's amazing, and we do need some Spider-Man. And there are some things that are ridiculous in this film, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad if you just keep your expectations low and you just need some time to burn. Go to the theater, check it out. You may have a decent time. Subscribe and follow for more.
Oh man. So this is definitely this sounds like this should be a film that should go straight to streaming quickly. Like get it in theaters, let it do its little, lap, and then after that, straight to streaming, so that other people could enjoy it because it seems like it's just an okay film. Like literally right down the middle. This would be a 3. It's not terrible, but it's like it's like they're giving this like the pity treatment, where it's like, yeah, we're not going to put you up against like Avengers Endgame because of course, no, you don't, you're not even close. But if we compare it to your other films that sucked so bad, then yeah, this is good. And it's like, in order for you to be good, you got to be put up against a handicap film. That's not a good sign. But let's go ahead and let's see who else here has something to say. Let's see, out of the theater reaction.
Alright, you guys, I just got back from seeing Kraven the Hunter, only social media first impression reactions for now. My expectations going into Kraven the Hunter were fairly low, but I mean, Jesus Christ. Now, that isn't to say that this movie doesn't have some merit to it. I do think some of the action sequences are pretty solid. I mean, it's the R rating here that really does help it. They're brutal, violent, and probably arguably the best part. I'd even say that Aaron Taylor Johnson is trying his best to play Kraven as a character. I mean, it's very much not like the Kraven you would ever know from the comic books. Outside of that, though, this movie is just a complete hot mess. From the story, very generic, run-of-the-mill. The dialogue here is pretty rough around the edges. The VFX work in general is just downright atrocious. Stuff with like the rhino, the CGI animals. If this truly is the conclusion of this universe where there's Spider-Man villains that doesn't have Spider-Man in it, it definitely goes out on a whimper here. I do have a whole lot more thoughts, though, which I will leave for my full review, so stay tuned for that.
Dang. You heard it right there again. Like, if you want to like this movie, curb your expectations, curve them joints low. Because it's not good. It's like, it's a popcorn film, I guess. Popcorn flick. Okay, here, let's go ahead and let's do another one.
Kraven the Hunter trailer out, and boy, out of all the movies coming out, this sure is one.
That's your joke? You didn't even try that hard.
I tried as hard as the writers of Kraven the Hunter.
Dag.
Kraven the Hunter trailer out, and boy, out of all the movies...
Dang. They basically were just saying right there that it's the writing, man. Like, it's like how hard it... Obviously, it's got to be difficult. I don't know, man. Like... good grief. Good grief. Is there any other one? Let's see. Well, they did say that this is going to be the final entry for Sony when it comes to this whole villain verse, I guess you would call it, exploration of villains. Let's go ahead and let's go out with this guy. This guy is smiling. So I'm assuming that he must have liked it. Let's see.
Yo, what up? This is your boy Rama, and I'm here at a local mall, at a theater here in local city of Jakarta in my homeland, Indonesia. They're showing the new movie Kraven the Hunter a couple of days earlier.
That's crazy. He's in Indonesia. And I see One Piece. Is that like a One Piece showing in the theaters? Or is it like a store and they just happen to have One Piece merchandise? Don't know.
here in Indonesia, so I got to watch it early as well. And so I want to give you my out of the theater reaction. Kraven the Hunter was god awful. It was laughable. It was pure comedy.
I hate hearing that, man. I really do. I really do, because it's like, and it had got the rated R treatment, and y'all just like blew it. Y'all wasted it. Like how? How? Like how?
The Russian accent was ridiculous. The action sequences was shoddy. The CG animals, I was like, what the hell? I mean, the lions and everything, aren't they supposed to be in that live action Mufasa movie? What the hell are they doing in this one? But yeah, I was just cracking up and cracking up. The dialogues were cringe after cringe after cringe. And the bad guy, Rhino, played by Alessandro Nivola, at one point he did a freaking rhino sound or rhino voice, and it's just like, just absolutely so stupid.
Dang, y'all.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, he was a better Quicksilver than he was as Kraven the Hunter. I mean, he was not convincing at all, man. I mean, yeah, the six-pack abs is cool.
Right,
Good
right.
on you, bro. Great workout and whatnot. But anytime he went on all fours and acted like a freaking lion, that's another moment where I just gut busted, man. Just laughing.
And I could tell, because like for me, I'm that type of person. When I watch a movie and something like that ridiculous happens, I let out a sigh, and followed by like oh my gosh, man, you gotta be kidding me. Because I'm thinking to myself, like don't disappoint me like this. Like, come on, like it's not rocket science, folks.
He looks silly. He looks absolutely silly. And even at the end shot where he was wearing the fur jacket thing, what the hell? Ariana DeBose is an Oscar winner. What is she doing here? And Russell Crowe, this has got to be Russell Crowe's worst performance since that Les Miserables adaptation where he couldn't sing at all. I'll end on this. Sony was supposed to give us Sinister Six. Remember that?
Yes, and they could have easily done that. Easily done that. That was a layup. A layup. It was supposed to happen like 15 years ago. 15 years ago that we were supposed to get like Sinister Six, and they couldn't pull it off. Like somehow, between the executives, the writers, not being able to find a director, them making these broken promises, all of these loose ends that are forever loose ends on the back ends of these movies that try to be like, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and allude to another character that's going to be, and they never do it. And it's like, yo, this just how? Like how in the world did he? I don't know. How did he mess this up?
But now it's never gonna happen. I read the news that they're even gonna like stop doing more of Spider-Man's villains kind of solo movies like this one.
And here's the thing, it could work. You don't need Spider-Man. You need a good story. You need a good villain. And it's okay. Like it's okay to have a story in film centered around a villain. We do it all the time in horror films. Friday the 13th is not about the final girl. It's about Jason. And we barely see Jason Voorhees on screen. But when we do, we're like, yo, that's what we're here for. We get excited when we see Freddy Krueger show up and pop up, even though the story is not necessarily centered and focused on him as much. But when he does, you're like, yo, when he pops up on screen, you're here for it. They need to play it like a horror film. It just might work.
That's it. No more Sinister Six, I guess. And you know what? They just keep fucking up the Marvel properties and the Marvel characters that they have under their umbrella. And they just can't do Marvel right. You know, with Madam Web, with
I have not seen Madam Web, and I refuse to watch Madam Web. The way that film had got destroyed, like right now, Sony should just be like, you know what, this is not for us. Like, yeah, let's just give Spider-Man back completely. Like, I'm sorry, like beg for the fans' forgiveness and say, yo, listen, we blew it. We thought that we had it, and we didn't have it, and we're sorry. Can you forgive us? And we'll just go ahead and fade off into the sunset, right off into the sunset, because that's a hard no.
Venom: The Last Dance, and now this. It's just
And when it came to the Venom film, the very first one, I enjoyed. The second one, I'm like eye rolling throughout the whole thing. I'm like, come on, let's be serious. Such a waste of Carnage. Horrible waste of Carnage. Carnage could have lasted at least 2 films. Like that. Like that's how massive of an effect this character has on Venom. And Carnage gets wasted in one film, which also was another, like, if going back to the end of the first film, they alluded to that. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Carnage, and everybody was excited, like, yeah, it's gonna be Carnage. And then we got it, and it was just like, And then when the third film came out, I just didn't have any interest in it. I was just like, whatever. I just don't care.
oh my god, just cheeseball, man. Kraven, the over the top violence was slightly amusing, but
And here's the thing. Over the top violence is great. Give us that, but those are just flourishes. What we need is a great story to follow. Great acting, great action. And then again, like with the ultra violence, put that in like to flourish it. That works, but that's not going to save your movie.
you know a movie is bad when it doesn't purposely want to be funny. And this one was hysterically horrendous. So yeah, do not watch Kraven the Hunter. Save your money.
Wow.
Skip this one.
Wow.
Avoid it at all costs. I watched it so you don't have to. Kraven the Hunter. Every year there's a movie that ends the year that's crappy, right? This is it. Kraven the Hunter is that shitty movie to close 2024. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's my out of the theater reaction, and as always, subscribe. Let's rock this.
Dang. There it is, folks. Kraven the Hunter. And I had high expectations. I had high expectations for this film because it looked cool. Like if you were just to watch the trailer without any sound and just to look at the imagery of it all, it looked cool. It was like, oh yeah, this is going to be an awesome flick. And then all of a sudden it's like how some people say, oh yeah, she's a pretty girl until she opens her mouth. That's what this film sounds like. It sounds like it's going to be one of those situations where it's like it's a bunch of eye candy, but even they can't even get the eye candy right. Apparently the CGI sucked throughout the whole thing. I will not be watching this film. I can't encourage other people not to watch the film because I haven't seen it. But if I saw this film, and as much as I dislike it, I would probably be like, don't go see it. Save your money. I haven't even seen Madam Web. I won't see Madam Web. I don't know. I'm gonna just leave it at that, folks. If you've seen this movie, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, especially like if you're on the opposite side and you really feel like this movie was great. It was everything that you were hoping for. Then please let us know. And give us like one reason why. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And like we always say, remember to put forth your best. Peace in, guys. The Confusion out.